When you live long enough, you discover that this world is booby-trapped with disappointments, hurts, the unexpected. My wife turning 70 years old December 1st. We talked about how we wanted to kind of dull down the rat race.
Tony Evans has built his life on faith, but his recent announcement shocked everyone. He's stepping down as pastor, hinting at past sins without giving details. Suddenly, whispers about his new wife, Carla, resurfaced. Was there a secret all along? With no clear answers, the rumors are louder than ever, and everyone's asking, what's the real story behind his sudden exit? Let's get into it. Public persona and reputation. Tony Evans is a well-known preacher who has spent years teaching people about God and how to live a good, meaningful life. He's the pastor of Oak Cliff Bible Fellowship, a large and vibrant church in Dallas, Texas. Every week, thousands of people gather there to hear his sermons about God and the Bible. But it's not just his church that benefits from his teachings. Tony has written many books that help people understand how to live in a way that honors God. He even shares his messages on the radio, so those who can't attend his church can still hear his words. Because of all this, Tony Evans is respected and known not just in Dallas, but all over the world, especially within Christian communities. One of the reasons so many people admire Tony is because he practices what he preaches. He's known for trying to live the way he encourages others to live, following the teachings of the Bible and always choosing what is right. His sermons often focus on how to make good, moral choices, and people believe in him because they see that he's not just talking the talk, he's walking the walk. For Tony, living a good life means following the principles in the Bible, choosing right over wrong, and striving to do the right thing every day. This dedication has made him a respected figure, someone people trust and look up to. A huge part of Tony's life and work was his wife, Lois Evans. She wasn't just his partner in marriage, but also in his ministry. Lois played a big role in helping Oak Cliff Bible Fellowship grow into a place where people could learn about God and find support. She was known for being kind, strong, and always ready to help others. People at the church loved her, and she made a positive impact on many lives, working alongside Tony to create a welcoming, supportive community. In 2019, Lois Evans passed away after a long and tough battle with cancer. It was a heartbreaking time for Tony and their family, and the loss was felt deeply throughout the church community. Lois had been such an important part of Oak Cliff Bible Fellowship, and even though she's no longer there, the impact she made lives on. A legacy is what someone leaves behind, and Lois's legacy is one of love, kindness, and strength. She showed those qualities to everyone she met, and people still talk about how she helped make the church the supportive, welcoming place it is today. Lois and Tony raised 4 children together, teaching them the same values of faith and service that were at the heart of their own lives. Tony often says he wouldn't have reached the place he is now without Lois by his side. Even though she's gone, her love and support are still felt in Tony's work. Throughout his life, Tony Evans has dedicated himself to serving God and teaching others how to live good, meaningful lives. With Lois at his side, he became a powerful voice in the Christian community, and people still look up to him for guidance. He's known as a leader who not only speaks about living a righteous life, but actually lives it out. But losing his beloved wife was a turning point for Tony. It set off a series of changes that would test his strength and the steady image he had built over the years. Even so, Tony's dedication to his faith and his role as a leader continues to inspire many, showing that even in the face of great loss, he remains a pillar of strength. A brief history of Carla. Carla Crummy became known to many when she married Pastor Tony Evans. Before this, she was a dedicated teacher, passionate about helping kids learn and grow. People admired her for her kindness and positive spirit. She was even called a kindness ambassador because she encouraged others to be loving, respectful, and caring. With her warm personality, Carla made a great impression, and when she became Tony's wife, even more people took notice. Tony had been married to his first wife, Lois, for many years. Their bond was well known, especially within their church community. After Lois passed away, it was a heartbreaking time for everyone. So, when Carla came into Tony's life, it was a big deal. Everyone was curious and watching closely. For many, Carla was seen as a new beginning for Tony after such a difficult loss. They admired how she stood by him and supported his work as a preacher. But not everyone felt the same. At first, there were mixed feelings, even doubts. Some people, both in the church and in the media, thought Tony's new relationship was happening too soon after Lois's death. While many were glad to see Tony finding happiness again, others felt he had moved on too quickly. Naturally, rumors began to spread. Some wondered if Tony and Carla had been together longer than they let on. No one knew for sure, but people love to talk, especially when it involves two well-known figures. Even though Carla was known for being kind and caring, some church members weren't sure how she fit into Tony's life and mission. But over time, things began to change. More and more people started to accept her as Tony's new wife. They saw how much she cared for him and how dedicated she was to supporting his work. Slowly, the skeptics came around. As a teacher and advocate for kindness, Carla continued to share messages of love, respect, and understanding. She used her platform to spread these positive values. Despite the initial doubts, she stayed true to herself, and her warmth won over many who had been unsure at first. Her presence brought a fresh start, not just for Tony, but for their entire community, making the accusations public. One day, Pastor Tony Evans made an announcement that left everyone stunned. Standing in front of his church, he shared something no one expected. He was stepping down as preacher. People who had followed him for years were shocked. Why would Tony, who had led the church for decades, suddenly decide to leave? He mentioned past mistakes or sins, but didn't explain what he meant. This left everyone with the same burning question. What did he mean? As soon as Tony made his statement, people started guessing. Rumors began to spread, and many wondered if his past sins had anything to do with his new wife, Carla Crummy. Carla had been a topic of conversation since she and Tony got married, and now, with Tony leaving, the chatter about their relationship grew even louder. People started asking, did Tony keep something from us about their marriage? Could these sins be related to Carla? The speculation didn't stop there. Before Tony married Carla, there had been rumors that they had been together longer than they let on. Now, those old rumors seemed to be coming back to life. Some thought Tony's announcement was a sign that something wasn't right, that maybe there was truth to those whispers from the past. The biggest mystery was why Tony didn't give more details. By keeping things vague, he only fueled the speculation. Some thought he was stepping down to avoid more attention or to keep other secrets from coming out. With so little information, everyone was left to guess, and that made the rumors spread even faster. Is there something Tony and Carla have been hiding all along? People wondered. For some, Tony's words confirmed what they had suspected for a long time. They felt like their doubts about Tony and Carla's relationship were finally proven right. But others were left confused, unsure of what to believe. Was there truth to the rumors? Or was Tony leaving for a completely different reason? The mystery kept everyone talking, and no one seemed to have the answers. As church members reacted to Tony's words, more eyes turned to Carla. People began to wonder about her role in their marriage and ministry, and whether she had anything to do with the mystery surrounding Tony's announcement, Carla's role in the alleged scandal. Let's talk about Tony Evans's new wife, Carla Crummy. Carla is known for being kind, a teacher, and even a kindness ambassador. She came into Tony's life after the passing of his first wife, Lois Evans. Lois was loved by everyone at church, so when Tony and Carla got married, it caught a lot of attention. People were curious, and because Tony was so well known, their wedding was a big deal. After Tony's announcement about a past sin, some people began to wonder if Carla had anything to do with it. He didn't give any clear details, so the guessing started. Was Carla involved in the story he hinted at? We still don't know for sure. But Tony's vague words left room for people to speculate about her role. A few people thought Carla might have had an unexpected influence on Tony. Some even wondered if they had been together longer than everyone thought, or if there was more going on behind the scenes. With no clear answers, people started to create their own theories. Since marrying Tony, Carla has faced a lot of whispers behind her back. Those whispers got louder after Tony stepped down. Some believe Carla had a bigger impact on Tony's decision to quit than most people realize. Maybe she played a part in his announcement too. Because she was new to his life and the church, some thought Carla might have influenced Tony in ways that surprised those who had known him for years. When you're in a big, important role like Tony Evans, people pay close attention. Every move gets noticed, and when things are left unclear, the rumors only grow louder. People paid close attention when Tony Evans spoke about his past sins, and even more so when Carla came into his life. Now, many are asking if Carla's presence had anything to do with his decision to step down. After all, marriage is a partnership, and maybe being with Carla made Tony reflect on his past in a new way. There are plenty of theories about what could have happened. Some believe Carla knew something about Tony's past, and that being around her pushed him to come clean. Others wonder if their relationship itself was connected to the sin Tony mentioned. The church community is still trying to piece it all together, trying to understand why Tony made such a big decision. When a well-known figure like Tony Evans is involved, everyone has their own opinion. Some think Carla has nothing to do with it, while others believe she played a bigger role than people realize. For now, all these ideas are just that, ideas and guesses. But one thing is clear. Carla's part in Tony's life has become one of the most talked about pieces of this story. The mystery around Tony's statement and Carla's involvement has kept people buzzing with questions. Until more information comes out, it's hard to know what's really going on. But for now, people can't help but wonder how much of this has to do with Carla, and what really happened between her and Tony. Reactions from the evangelical community. People were stunned when Pastor Tony Evans made a shocking announcement. Imagine sitting in church, expecting a regular sermon, and suddenly your minister talks about a sin he committed in the past, without giving any details. No one saw that coming. The crowd was left in shock and confusion. Tony had always been a strong leader, so hearing him admit to a mistake was surprising. Many were scared and unsure, thinking, "How could this happen?" They wanted answers, but Tony didn't give much, which only made them more curious. The news spread quickly beyond the church. Religious news outlets picked up the story right away, sharing it with their readers and listeners. Just like everyone else, they were shocked by Tony's words and struggled to respond. Soon, even secular news outlets were covering the story, bringing more attention to Tony Evans and his unexpected confession. As always, people had mixed reactions. Some of Tony's followers stood by him completely. They appreciated his honesty, even if he didn't share all the details. To them, it showed strength and humility. They admired his choice to open up about his past and respected his decision to step down. But not everyone felt the same. Some were disappointed and thought Tony should have been more open and given more information. Others doubted his motives, wondering why he was bringing up an old sin now, while he was still a respected leader. Critics were left uncertain, questioning whether Tony was still fit to lead, and what this would mean for the future. In the end, Tony's announcement left everyone talking. Some were ready to support him, while others felt uneasy and unsure of what to believe. Digging deeper into the rumors. Even before Pastor Tony Evans made his shocking statement, there were already stories swirling about him and his new wife, Carla. Rumors often start as small whispers when people don't have all the facts, but they can grow and spread, especially when it comes to well-known figures. For a while, people had been talking about Tony and Carla. Some wondered if they had been together longer than anyone knew, or if there was something going on behind the scenes. There wasn't any proof, but the rumors made some people suspicious. For years, there had been quiet chatter around the church. A few people had long believed there might be trouble in Tony's personal life or within the church, but nothing was ever confirmed. After Tony's first wife, Lois, passed away and Carla entered his life, some church members started to ask questions. Were Tony and Carla moving too quickly? Was there more to the story than they were seeing? These questions lingered, but no one had clear answers. Now, with Tony's recent confession about a past mistake, those old rumors have resurfaced. People are starting to think that the sin he talked about might have something to do with Carla. Because Tony didn't give any specific details, guesses turned into more stories, and soon enough, everyone had a theory. Some thought Carla had influenced Tony in ways that weren't obvious before. Others believed there were hidden issues that were finally coming to light. These stories have left people with mixed feelings about Tony and Carla. For some, the rumors have clouded their view of Tony's leadership and Carla's role in his life. They want to know if there's more to the story than what has been shared so far. Others see the rumors as just gossip with no real proof behind them. But no matter what people believe, the reports have added to an already puzzling situation. Everyone is curious, wanting to know the truth. As the church community tries to make sense of it all, they're also wondering what the future holds for Oak Cliff Bible Fellowship without its founding leader. What this means for Evans' ministry? Tony Evans has been a major figure in Christian communities for years, and his work has touched countless lives around the world. Through his books, sermons, and leadership at Oak Cliff Bible Fellowship, he has left a lasting impact. But now, with his decision to step down, people are uncertain about what comes next. When a leader as important as Tony steps away, it can cause confusion, especially for a mission as big as his. His departure doesn't just affect him, it affects his entire community, the people who follow him, and the future of the work he's built. Under his guidance, Oak Cliff Bible Fellowship has grown into a huge spiritual center, shaped by his vision and principles. Now, his absence leaves a gap. The big question on everyone's mind is, how will the church adapt? Will there be new leaders stepping in? Or will the whole system of the church change? It might be tough for people to adjust to a new style of leadership when they've been used to Tony's way of teaching for so long. Without their familiar leader, many in the congregation may feel unsure about what lies ahead. Carla, Tony's new wife, could also play a role in the church's future. She's already known for being a teacher and a great example of kindness. But now that Tony has stepped down, Some wonder if Carla will become more involved. Could she take on a bigger role in the ministry? With her background, she might bring new energy or a fresh perspective to Oak Cliff Bible Fellowship. However, not everyone may be comfortable with this idea. There have been questions and rumors about Tony and Carla's relationship, and some people in the church might be hesitant about Carla stepping into a bigger role. As the church moves forward, it will face some big decisions. Even though Tony built a strong foundation, challenges could still arise. It's unclear if Oak Cliff Bible Fellowship will thrive or struggle without him, but much will depend on the choices made in the coming months. In times of uncertainty, strong communities often find ways to come together. This could be a moment for the church to show its faith, resilience, and unity, finding new strength in a time of change. Pastor Tony Evans's redemption story. People are asking if Tony Evans can bounce back after this public setback. His career has been built on faith, hope, and forgiveness, and his followers have always turned to him for spiritual guidance. Now, they wonder if he can regain the trust of his church and the wider Christian community. Many believe there's a way forward for him, but it won't be easy. Public scandals can damage reputations, and rebuilding that trust can be a long, difficult road. To make things right, Tony will probably need to take some important steps. Being open and honest about the issue he mentioned in his resignation is a good place to start. If he clears up the mystery around the sin he referred to, it could help calm the rumors and restore his image. Right now, the lack of clarity is leaving people to guess, and that only makes things worse. Another step in his recovery might involve taking some time away from the public eye. Many leaders who have faced scandals find that a break allows them to reflect, heal, and reconnect with their faith. During this time, Tony might seek guidance from close friends, other faith leaders, and his family. His wife, Carla, could play a key role in his journey. By standing by his side, offering support, and helping him through this difficult time, she could help him rebuild his image and speed up his recovery. When a leader stumbles, the Christian community often has mixed reactions. Some will pray for him and stand by him, while others may feel their trust has been broken and distance themselves. If Tony's efforts to heal and grow are sincere, he might find his way back to being a respected leader. People are more likely to reconnect if they believe he is truly sorry and committed to making things right. Often, leaders who show vulnerability and honesty can end up forming deeper connections with their followers. Tony Evans's story of forgiveness is still unfolding. With time, effort, and spiritual reflection, it could become a story of healing and hope. Even if he doesn't fully recover his old status, those who believe in second chances will continue to watch his journey, rooting for a comeback. The legacy of Tony Evans and his new chapter. Many are curious about what Tony Evans might do next, now that he's no longer leading Oak Cliff Bible Fellowship. After decades of pastoring, this is his first real chance to explore new projects without the demands of full-time church work. With all his experience, Tony has the potential to help the religious community in many ways. Whether it's through writing, speaking engagements, or mentoring younger pastors, the possibilities are exciting. This new chapter could allow Tony to share his insights with a wider audience, reaching beyond just his local church. One way he could make a big impact is by using his vast collection of sermons and lessons. He has so much valuable content, and now he could package it in new ways, like online courses, videos, or even a series of books. In today's digital age, there are countless ways for preachers to spread their message, and Tony has already shown interest in using these tools. His lectures have motivated many, and putting them into new formats could breathe new life into his teachings, reaching people far beyond Dallas. Another path Tony might consider is spending more time with his family. His personal life has seen big changes, especially after the passing of his first wife, Lois Evans, and his new marriage to Carla. This could be a chance for him to focus on his role as a husband and father, building stronger family bonds during this new phase of life. Whether Tony decides to keep sharing his message on a global scale or focus more on his family, this new beginning is filled with possibilities. For many leaders, stepping back from public life is a chance to reconnect with personal relationships that might have taken a back seat during years of service. At this stage, Tony Evans might enjoy a quieter home life, free from the pressures of running a large church. A slower pace could be just what he needs. Tony might also shift his focus towards mentoring. By sharing his vast knowledge and experience, he can guide young pastors through the challenges of ministry while helping them find their own voices. This kind of leadership could inspire a new generation of church leaders, creating a legacy that reaches far beyond his own congregation. In this new chapter, Tony could explore collaborations with other faith leaders. By bringing together different perspectives and resources, he might tackle important issues facing communities today. Working on such initiatives could expand his influence and make sure his teachings continue to inspire and uplift people. Tony might even look into starting long-term humanitarian projects. By focusing on sustainable solutions, he could address problems like poverty, inequality, and lack of education. This might mean partnering with organizations to build schools, offer job training, or support small businesses in struggling areas. His deep understanding of both spiritual and practical needs could make these programs especially effective, blending faith with real-world action. On top of that, Tony's voice could become a powerful tool for advocacy. He could speak out on important issues like racial justice, protecting the environment, and healthcare access. With his platform, he could rally support for meaningful change, using his influence to push for a better world. Beyond humanitarian work, Tony Evans could explore creative media to extend his reach even further. He might produce documentaries, podcasts, or even films that tackle both religious and social issues, opening his message to a wider audience. With his gift for storytelling and ability to make complex ideas easy to understand, Tony could connect deeply with viewers and listeners around the world. In today's digital age, Tony's message has the chance to break out of traditional settings, reaching people who might not usually attend church or read religious books. By using new and innovative platforms, he could continue sharing his vision of faith, hope, and justice in a way that feels fresh and accessible. Whatever direction Tony Evans decides to take, his deep commitment to serving others will likely be at the heart of it. Whether he's mentoring young pastors, speaking out for social change, or expanding his teachings through media, his next chapter promises to grow his already impressive legacy. Through local and global efforts, Tony's work could set an example of leadership that blends spiritual wisdom with real-world impact. It could serve as a blueprint for other faith leaders, showing how to make a difference that lasts. Pastor Tony Evans has seen incredible highs and faced shocking lows. Yet, his story isn't over. His next steps could pave the way for a future that inspires and uplifts for years to come.